That's just pigs. Okey doke. I'm going to resume the recording. I'm resuming.
Yes, please.
And I'm going to share your agenda. I hope.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope, because it's always difficult to find the thing you're looking for when you're trying to share the screen. Okay.
And Lizzie, my
Yes.
name is Joyce Sales, and
right.
this is my first time attending this outreach.
Yes, thank you for
meeting.
coming and welcome. This is our
You're
second
welcome.
meeting for the year. My second time hosting anything. So I'm glad you're here and thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
Okay,
So,
can you guys see the
yeah.
screen? Because
Yes.
okay.
Well, I did. Yeah.
Yes, so this is the agenda. I'm calling the meeting to order. It's 6:09. I guess we need
To approve the agenda.
The agenda
to approve the
disappeared.
agenda. Yes.
The agenda disappeared.
Uh-oh. All right.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I took
Wait.
it down, but I'll bring it back up.
Yeah. Is it just the three of us?
At the moment,
There
yep.
is a person coming, our former outreach chair.
Okay.
She just told me right now that she's logging in.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
the agenda left, Laura.
Yes, I see that. And not only that, it really left. I have to open it again.
Oh, okay.
For some reason. Yep. Having a wonderful day. Just saying. Okay. So there should be no reason why I can't share this baby, but I'm having trouble finding the agenda. There it is. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
back.
So we need, Laura, could you move to approve the
Yes.
agenda?
I move,
I guess,
yeah, well, Joyce can second. I move to approve this agenda.
okay.
I second.
Thank
Is
you.
okay.
And everybody agrees,
We're all
I
in
guess.
favor.
Okay. And let's start with public comments. If there are any announcements on anything that is not part of tonight's agenda. And you have 2 minutes, but we're flexible. So anyone with a comment or announcement?
Since I'm the only kind of um we were talking about elegant manner. I understand Koreans. Do you know anything about that, Lizzie or Laura? And then also I was at Washington Square Post Office and I see they put up a public notice between the market and the post office. And I just quickly kind of looked at it, something about getting approval for liquor, I
Right.
think, and was
Yes,
so
Joyce.
those.
Yes, but I'm sorry. This portion of the meeting is only for comments or announcements. We cannot
Oh,
give an answer to
oh,
any
okay.
questions at this time. Maybe later, we might be able to answer
Right.
your question.
And Joyce, I know the answers, but certainly either later,
Exactly, we do.
there's not going to be much of a later because I have
Yeah.
to start the executive committee. But do you have my email? Because you can email me and then I'll answer.
Mhm.
Okay.
It'd be Laura, Laura dot Myers, Meyers at UNNC.org. If you just email me, I can
Oh,
answer both of those.
okay. Perfect.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. So at this time, we can also introduce ourselves. So I will start with our guest tonight, Joyce. One more time,
Y-
please.
Yeah, my name is Joyce Sales. I'm native Californian. I
Mhm.
live here in, I've been saying the West Adams neighborhood because I'm near Adams and
Okay.
Arlington, but I understand it's the Kenny Heights.
All right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I just learned that in the
okay.
last 15 minutes or so.
I
I
see.
sell real estate. I've been periodically attending the executive committee meetings
Okay.
probably for the last year
Oh,
now. And I'm just, I've been in this area. I'm native California. I grew up here in the Crenshaw district, but I've been here in West Adams for almost 20. And I
okay.
do community advocating with the LA County Department of Mental Health and some other nonprofits.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much again for coming. And oh,
Thank you.
okay. Very good. All right.
Do you want the
Do-
rest of us to introduce ourselves?
yes, just briefly,
Yeah.
your.
So I'm Laura Myers. I have been involved with UNNC from its inception, not always on the board, but almost always its planning and land use chair. And currently it's chair. But that's not permanent. Was permanent for the year. And I live, as we discussed earlier, in the Angeles Vista neighborhood. And I'm a historic preservation advocate by avocation and historian and journalist and other things by profession. And actually
Hmm.
work closely with a person who is also a realtor and an investor in historic properties, which are rental properties. So that would be me. Rosie's here.
Is that David?
Yes. How'd you know?
I'm a
Indeed.
realtor.
Oh.
Okay, indeed. But I'm not a realtor.
Right.
Okay. Rosie, would you like to welcome and would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Rosie Brown. I live in Jefferson Park. I was on the board for about 5.5 years, and I served many hats with different outreach and some other community um, committees.
Yes, very true. Very much involved with the outreach committee. All right. And my name is Lizzie Moramisato. I am currently chair of outreach. I started as an at-large member in 2015, and I'm also now area rep for Jefferson Park. I have lived in this neighborhood for 30 years now. So we moved in with my family in 1990. So
Oh,
that's
I,
all of us.
I should have said 38 years for me.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
also my mother grew up in the area.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
I
have both of you
remember
guys.
that. Okay, very good. So now that we know who we are, we can start on a brief update on the upcoming neighborhood council elections. So,
you
uh,
want me to post the
if you would,
timeline?
yes, please, the timeline. So I will always, I guess, show the timeline just to see that we are good. We start filing for candidacy at the end of January, so January 23rd to March 9th. Whoever's interested in running for a board position can file online or I guess through the mail, but that is more, it's not really recommended. There are also a series of candidate info sessions, 2 hours long. There have been two already. I attended one of them, even though I am not really running, but since I am chairing the committee, so they went through the website, through the elections portion of the website, and explained very much in detail how people can apply for candidacy, how to run their campaign, how to connect with neighbors. So they gave plenty of recommendations, suggestions, especially how to do all of this in the middle of a pandemic. So it was very informative and I highly recommend it. So the next meeting info session will be on a Thursday night at 6 p.m. on January the 7th. So I will make an announcement through social media, I guess, and uh, interested persons need to register online. And again, it's a 2 hour long session. At the end of the session, they told us that they would send us a link to the recording, but I don't think I have received it. But I guess I can ask and find out if there is actually
Lizzie,
something.
is there
Yes.
there's nothing on this timeline that gives a neighborhood council any sort of deadlines for providing to the city any information that we would want to share regarding outreach. So does that mean the city is doing no outreach that's specific to neighborhood councils, nor or even requiring us to do that? I mean, there's no deadlines on this.
Right. I did not, I cannot recall that they mentioned it. Um, but that is something that we can bring up to Adriana. She might be able to
Yeah, it wouldn't
give
be Adriana, it'd
more
be that guy
insight.
from the clerk's office.
Oh, yes, yes.
Robert something.
Robertino Salgado.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I can reach out to him and see, especially because I remember that now we do have a budget.
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, I'm just concerned if we have if we don't message anything at all, what, it's not just how will we get candidates, but how will we get candidates who could then kind of, I don't want to say fit our model, because our model is diversity, but who know that we meet on Zoom, who know that they will have to join a committee, who know that they have, I mean, in other words, all the things that are in our standing rules, that how to be a member and how you lose your membership if you don't. How do we get that information out? Or does the city care if we get the information out and we just do it on our own, in our own outreach?
Yes. I think that it will fall on us
All right.
to just provide that information and reach out to the candidates. So,
All right.
but that could be addressed at a future
I
at
understand.
our first elections committee meeting. Let's see, anything else that I wanted to bring up
Well, the only
oh,
thing.
yes.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to confirm with you because I remember that we did fill out that form where we indicated our preferred drop-off box locations.
Yeah, and in the end, our preferred location is
Was the Washington Irving, right?
no.
The library?
The ended no. What ended up being our preferred location was the Gramercy and Washington Apartments, almost finished construction. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. And Sarah Letts, who's the head of the foundation that's building it, says yes. So, and Robert Tino liked it, but he has not gotten back to me. So, you know, in other words, I think it's important that one was why everybody liked the idea, was it's central, it has a parking lot.
Yes, the parking lot, right.
And it showcases partly who we are. We're people who support the construction of affordable housing. That, you know, that also fits into the character of the neighborhood. So, I mean, in other words, all of these reasons were why we voted, but I haven't heard anything further. But I did verify with Sarah that it was a yes, that we could use that location.
Okay, and Sarah is what?
She's the head of, it's a Hollywood, I want to say Hollywood Housing Foundation, even though it's not Hollywood. Hang on, because I got a email Christmas card from them today. I'll give you.
That's fine. Just wanted to. So Washington Gramercy Apartments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick question. So with the boxes are going to be located there, is there going to be somebody watching the boxes, or is it going to be the same way like you did the presidential election, just some mailbox there?
The clerk talked about.
The clerk will be there.
Go ahead.
The reason they're only letting us have one is because they're staffing. Yeah.
Okay. So because I think part of a discussion the other day was whether we would want to fund someone, hire someone to watch over the box, right? But that's not an issue anymore.
No, what we had wanted to do, I would still like to do it, is if they would give us permission for us to hire people to watch over additional locations. So we could, since we're so physically large and not everyone has a car, so we could have multiple locations. Initially, I was turned down. That doesn't mean that's forever. Anyway, the organization that owns the building is Hollywood Community Housing or .org.
Okay.
Hollywood Community Housing.
All right.
And the president, or whatever her title is Sarah, Sarah, Letts, Letts.
Okay, thank you very much. So
is that building supportive housing?
It's senior housing. Half of the units are affordable, just basic affordable over 55, and the other half are for homeless seniors. I don't,
So
it's not PSH, permanent supportive housing. It's not that. So, but it is supportive, lowercase.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, but not a PSH project.
Right. Okay. Very good.
So
So,
I can take the timeline down.
yes, thank you very much. Just one little detail that I remember from the session was that they are trying to get the same drop-off boxes that we used for the national elections to be used for our
Well,
neighborhood council
so
elections.
ironically, the one in front of the Washington Irving Library is still there.
Oh no, yes, the one at the Jefferson branch is still there.
Right.
So hopefully they'll be in working condition. Yes. All right.
Every day I pass there, the library, I wonder
Uh-huh.
if they even remove the ballots, if any.
Yeah.
Well, they should have been
I keep
removed.
thinking that too.
And I'm hoping, and I'm no, but my concern is I hope that the box is really locked and shut, you know.
And
Really
I've never
sealed.
seen any security there during the
Right.
election. I didn't see any security there.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
okay. So hopefully it should be fine. All right, very good. So moving on to the next agenda item, the mission statement and goals.
Yeah, I know.
Please.
Another finding adventure, but I'm looking for it.
Okay. So while you look,
I got it.
it's just a summary of what we had discussed in our last meeting. I just put things a little more organized. Whatever was redundant, I
Right.
deleted, and something that was goals more internal to our board, I didn't include. So because it's not necessary that it goes on the website as far as things we do on a regular basis for outreach. All right. So
So Lizzie, what
no,
I've
that's
done
not
is
the one.
I've
That's
just
the
put
old.
up the part that is our mission, but I have the whole thing of the other neighborhood councils. But
What is that? But that is not what I. That is the old draft.
this is what you sent me, draft number 2.
Oh, okay. It looks different.
Does it? I didn't touch it.
No, 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 no. That's not it.
Okay.
That's not it. Oh, how weird. Because I have it here.
Okay. Well, you want to email me one more version? I can take this
Yes.
down. Okay.
Yes, please. Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
Hmm, let's see if I can do that again.
Lizzie must have kids. She is so ready for Christmas.
No, what happens is I teach. I
Oh.
teach online. I tutor in Spanish. So for the kids.
Mm, beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, hopefully this is the one. Nope. Uh,
How different was it in concept from that?
it didn't have any boxes. It was
Oh.
just text, and it said draft number 2 in
Well, you know
red.
what? This says draft number 2, but it has boxes, obviously.
Okay, hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna send it, and hopefully that's the one. I've been
Okay.
having a little bit of problems with the files. Okay. I think what you got is the one that I needed to show.
Okay, I have nothing yet, but let me refresh my email.
All right. It says sent. So
All right. Just take a moment. Okay.
I thought Greg was gonna be here.
Greg, something came up. He's even going to be late tonight to
Oh,
exam.
I see. I see. Okay.
Okay, so this is titled the same way. So I'm just going to sort of change the title so that I can a little bit so I can see the difference.
Okay. It's just one page and it has 3 sections.
Okay. Yep, this is it. Okay. Sorry about this, you guys. It's like,
No, thank you.
that's it?
That's it. One. Oh,
Yep, that's
yes,
it.
that's the one. Thank you very much.
I don't know why it has all that red stuff underlined, but oh well.
I don't know because I'm seeing it. It's fine on
Okay.
mine. All right. So I divided it into 3 different sections. Because I believe that's what we kind of wanted the other most of the mission statements to follow the same format. So basically, mission statement, our vision and goals to
Right.
how to realize the vision, right? So for the mission statement, our mission is to empower our stakeholders and the community at large by bullet points, facilitating information and access to city services, issues, and events within the UNNC footprint. Next bullet, keeping them engaged and included. And lastly, encouraging their involvement. And I try to make it as concise as possible. And for the vision, our vision for the long term is to have an ongoing promotion and visibility of the UNNC and city services among all stakeholders. Also, establish solid relationships with various groups in the community, such as neighborhood associations, block clubs, nonprofit organizations, businesses, etc. Lastly, identify stakeholder diversity and their needs. And I just listed some of the diversity in within our stakeholders, homeowners, renters, business owners, someone who works here or holds some type of investment in the community. And I'm sorry, but here I fail to include our our residents who are experiencing homelessness,
Right.
and also I believe Rosie mentioned last time former the formerly incarcerated, in the sense that they are some, they have uh, different challenges in being part of the community, you know. So that I think they deserve a special mention here.
Well, also on a more
Yes.
benign note, students, their families, people, we're home to Church Row, so I, I don't know. What do we say? Worshipers, congregation
Okay.
members. Um,
Congregation members, I like that.
I'm gonna say religious. How about religious and spiritual congregation members, students, and their families. Students in our local schools and their families, right?
Yes.
And then what did you mean here? Actually, what I'm going to do is put this in yellow, so, and I'm going to send this back to you, but so that you know
Yes.
what
Yes, please.
has
Yeah.
been added. What did you mean by this word investment? Right there. Did you mean money, actual investment, or do you mean?
Not necessarily, but it could be someone who holds some financial estate investment, or I don't know, someone who is here.
If we look at some of the people who come to our meetings who may not live right within our footprint, right? We have people who advocate related to oil and clean air. We have people
Right.
who advocate obviously for historic preservation because they're really
Mm-hmm.
invested in the idea of protecting this neighborhood. We have
Mm-hmm.
people who have over the years advocated for we have a minority AIDS, AIDS, the illness complex. So we have people who are really help with that. I can think there's probably a lot of different things. So that's what I wonder if investment's the right word because it implies money.
Interest.
Interest. So I can change that to interest.
Okay, well, I'm doing it right now, but I'm going to send you back this document.
Yes, thank you. All right. And so for the goals is how do we accomplish our vision, or how do we realize our vision? So goals. We will promote awareness of the UNNC via distribution of promotional materials, canvassing, and social media. And of course, this is when we are free to, um, you know, engage in these activities, because right now we are so restricted. We plan to establish a general schedule of events created by UNNC or attended by the neighborhood council. So by this, I mean some of the events we create ourselves and organize ourselves. Others are community events that we attend, no? That we where we are where we establish a presence, and at the beginning of each fiscal year. So which, that has been done. I remember every year we say, okay, these are the events that we are going to be sort of say earmarked, so to speak, and we allocate a budget, and this is what will be where we will be. Okay, so that's one goal. Another goal, we will coordinate the participation and promotion of the UNNC in these events, in community events and activities, in collaboration with other UNNC standing committees, because as outreach, we have to sort of, mingle with the other committees like communications and anything, pretty much
Excuse
any
me,
other
Liz.
committees. Yes. Yes.
Is this what's currently happening, or is this something new that's going on, this mission statement?
I believe there is a mission statement online, but we are kind of refreshing it. Is that the word?
Yeah,
Because
Joyce,
recent
look, I can explain a little. We have asked, because we've moved the committees to Zoom, and because we've reinvigorated quite a few committees that hadn't been meeting Zoom or otherwise for some time, our officers, executive committee, desires that every committee have a mission statement that we then approve. And our standing rules actually require that the governing board approve the mission statements. So we just
So
have it.
basically what you're doing is you're just updating your current mission statement
Mhm.
or kind of enhancing your current mission statement? Or that's the reason I'm asking is because I'm looking at the goals here and it says we will XYZ, we will coordinate, we will. So is this something in anticipation of, we're expecting to do this, or this is something since the outreach committee we have been doing?
Well,
Promoting awareness, establishing a general schedule, coordinating the participation. Is that stuff that's currently going on, or is this what we're planning to do?
it is an ongoing effort, uh, but I guess I use the future tense in the sense of we are committed to do this, and you know, to follow these goals. And
So I would probably say we're committed to promoting awareness, or because it looks like nothing is going on and this is what we're planning to do.
So you're saying
In my
instead of will, say we are committed to.
Or even just take out goals, promote awareness.
well, this is part
Establish
of
a,
the format that has been recommended
okay.
for the yes,
No,
for
no,
the
but I think
for the
she's
mission
commenting
statement.
on the future tense instead of
Yeah, on
saying,
the grammar kind of reads that this is what we're planning to do instead of this is an ongoing thing.
right. So I just changed the first one instead of saying we will, blah, 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 just promoting
Mhm.
awareness goals, promoting awareness of the UNNC.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
But also by way of explanation, Joyce, a little bit, the city, Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, and the city clerk funding team has forbidden neighborhood councils from, at the moment, distributing promotional materials or canvassing except electronic, right? We can't, no neighborhood council is supposed to be walking around and doing things. And
Right.
it's making it very difficult. And the
right.
next bullet item.
Based on the COVID. Is that based on the
Correct.
COVID situation?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not even speaking of the COVID situation. I'm just reading this.
Right.
And like I said, I'm like, well, is this something they're planning to do? Or is this the ongoing, as you mentioned? Or yeah, so basically it's just kind of for me like a grammar thing where I was like, is it happening, or is it gonna start happening, or it's already going on, or yeah, so yeah.
But
Promote awareness.
To your point, because right now we are not we are not allowed to do this, it will in fact be in the future tense, because right now we are not doing it, but we will be doing it. But
point is right. I mean, we don't want to have to re-adopt this mission statement every year, because look how long it's taking. So, do you see what I've done in the yellow? It's kind of keeping it, but just listening to Joyce's point is just not we will, but that in effect that we do. It is also true that the second bullet point about establishing an ongoing schedule of events, all of the events that we scheduled, because we do actually have a schedule of events. We have now I'm losing it. The spring festival at South Seas House and the winter wonderland at South Seas House, and we had past tense. I don't know if our new council member will do it. Movies in the park in the summer, and we have fire service day in May. I mean, we definitely have an ongoing schedule of events that we fund, and all of them are canceled. And in fact, we transferred the money away because we aren't allowed to spend it. And what I was going to say is to Joyce, even digital events, we're having trouble with the clerk's funding team because they're reading literally what it says in the Bible of funding about events, and they're smashing digital events into the same pile of things as real events, and real events are harder to do because it requires an awful lot of insurance, and the vendors have to have liability insurance, and all kinds of things which aren't necessary when you're not eating their food in the middle of a pandemic. But we're having trouble funding even the most minor of things because they're being called events. So this year it would make sense for this to say going to do it, but I think this is a good compromise. Establish an ongoing general schedule of events. I mean, that would work, Lizzie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so that following that path, I'm going to do
Alright.
it would be coordinating.
Just like express it as an ongoing effort. Mhm.
Right.
Got it.
And distribute. Now, but I have a question. But does
Yes.
Rosie have anything to say before I keep talking?
Rosie,
I know we didn't mention nothing here. I know that's going to be for our committee, but it is one thing for our community, and that is to their quality of life. We try to help them, improve their quality of life in the UNNC's footprint.
okay. So would that be something to include in the mission statement? So not only to empower, but improve the quality of life? Would you
Or
like to?
promote
Would
That-
you like
promote a
to
is it the
mention
quality
outreach?
of life.
Well,
We could
is
say
it
promote.
I'm sorry, is it the outreach committee's job to do that, or to support UNNC and its stakeholders in their efforts to improve the quality of life?
Well, it's not just the outreach, it should be every committee's.
Correct. The outreach committee's task will be to support UNNC, its committees, and its stakeholders in their efforts to improve the quality of life within our community.
Right.
I don't know where to
But
write that.
I understand what Rosie says. It's part of the UNNC
Here, I'm trying
mission.
something.
I think we can express it like UNNC's, that we are also part of that effort.
How about, do you see what I've just done here? I'm gonna italicize it and yellow it.
Okay.
Because I mean, it basically the outreach committee is a support committee, not a creation committee in effect,
Mhm.
right? I mean,
Right.
you don't hold public hearings on land use issues. You don't count trees for tree plantings like the environmental committee is going to do. I mean, but if the environmental committee wants to have a tree planting day, you support that.
Right.
Right.
Yes, that sounds good. So I can definitely work with that.
All right.
All right.
So
anything
I have
else?
another question though.
Yes.
Somewhere in the last several weeks, there was at some committee, apparently not Recreation and Parks, according to Dorit, a discussion about creating a survey of our stakeholders to ask them what parks they go to and how they utilize the parks. But Dorit is telling me we didn't talk about that at Recreation and Parks Committee. Last night she said, no, I never heard of that. But Jeff and I had even talked about how to create such a survey. My question is, if UNNC is going to start surveying our stakeholders on whatever the issue, what committee handles that? Is it outreach? Meaning if it was
I
a
think it would
membership
be-
organization, it would be the
Communications and
membership
outreach.
committee.
Right.
Is there a membership committee?
No, there's
because
not.
we don't have members, we have stakeholders.
Right. So I would say like a joint effort between communications and outreach.
Probably so.
Right. So it may be
But with
communications because
a
that may
member
be
of
the,
everybody else's committee on it.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just sort of flabbergasted because it's like, how the heck did I have a conversation at some committee meeting that wasn't recreation and parks about surveying people about how they use the parks? But who knows? It could have been communications committee. So, but
Right.
and obviously communications committee is the entity that has access to all the technical bells and whistles to
Right.
reach people. So I'll float that over there too, because
Yes, please.
essentially, while I know how to do polling, meaning what words to put in a survey, I have no idea how to get it out and get it answered properly, technically.
Okay. All right. So so that would be brought up at another meeting.
Correct.
And so for now, I think I have here. So what should I do? Just
Here's what I'm going to do.
keep
I'm gonna,
working on it for the next time.
yeah, I'm gonna save this as draft 3, just so you
All
know.
right. Yes.
Just because that way it will be different on your computer than draft 2,
Yes, please. Thank you.
and send it back to you.
All right.
And I keep putting off when we can possibly do this task at the board because, you know, we had said December, and then we said January. I'm really hoping we can get Mark Ridley Thomas to come talk to us in January. But if he says yes,
Right.
we're not going to have a whole lot of stuff we can do at that meeting because, you know, he'll talk for an hour.
Yes.
I don't mean that
probably.
in a negative, but I mean that
Yeah.
in a practical matter. If we succeed in
Yes.
getting in there, we're not going to cut him off after 20 minutes.
Right. I
So,
understand.
so I think probably it has to be February, and where we approve this stuff, except for you're not going to have another meeting before then.
Right.
We'll just talk about that offline, about how to get this accomplished.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else from
Thank
anybody on this document before I close it? All right. I'm
Okay.
back.
Thank you, ladies, for your feedback. Okay, so we don't have much time. We only have about 7 minutes. So for future outreach events, we talked about many things the last time. But I think right now what is the only, I guess, outreach event that is actually going to happen in the short term will be the talent show, right?
Right.
And I think
And
that-
I'll know more tomorrow. It's
I'm sorry?
not that it's not this weekend. I mean, it's already been put off to January.
Right. Exactly. So hopefully the participants know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
That
that
is
Rosie and
having-
Joyce know what we're talking about.
Okay. So the communications committee is organizing a virtual talent show, including participation from members of our community and featuring different segments. So from Jefferson Park, we're gonna have a singer, Cy Smith. She's gonna be performing, I guess, a musical number. Other than that, I'm not sure. I guess we will get more updates
On Thursday.
tomorrow at the meeting. On Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday.
I mean, you know, because I've talked to the comedian about emceeing or doing a thing, so I have to share with it. You know,
All
And
right. So yes, we will just get more information on Thursday
right.
night about
So
that
Lizzie,
event.
but this is another question, because we've at communications committee, before you had ramped up, we had talked about like games, right? Doing not just a talent show. I'm using the word games rather loosely, but
Yes,
just doing fun things.
exactly.
Another neighborhood council is doing bingo online. But I've already forgotten, but we were talking about a Zoom scavenger hunt, maybe. I mean, there is such a thing. I mean, there's
Yes,
instructions.
but I think that was mentioned at the communications
Right. So
committee,
my
and I have
question is it communications or is it outreach committee that ought to be doing
I
these
think
things? I know. And do we care? We just need people to step up a little more. Because one of my ideas had been to have a like you used to do in elementary school, show and tell. But you bring an object. I'm looking around here to see if they even have an object. But bring an object that's special to you and show it and tell the story behind it. So more of an adult show
right,
and tell.
right.
And it could be funny or it could be heartwarming.
Yes,
Funny would be better at this point. We have
yes.
enough heartwarming for a generation, I think, at this moment.
I wonder if maybe we should try to get some feedback from the community of what they would like to see, because maybe we organize this whole thing and nobody shows up, and
Exactly.
that would be really heartbreaking. So
No,
I
exactly.
guess we can get some more input
Right.
from the
Well,
community
maybe we
and
should
see.
create I mean, this doesn't need to be a survey, but I think maybe we could do an e-blast. And again, probably should talk about it on Thursday, an e-blast that says,
Yes.
hey guys, we're in for a long winter. Stay at home and it'll be
Mhm.
cold and maybe even rainy if we're lucky. We're thinking of some fun things to do on Zoom. Do you have any ideas of your
Yes.
own? Please share something that
And
simple.
I think a more dynamic way to approach it would be via Nextdoor or
Well,
or
first you
our
have to
or
create the message and then
yes,
figure
and
out
then
how to distribute the message. And
right,
I'm
where people
a big
would be able
believer
to comment.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
All right, so we have 2 minutes. So could
Well,
we
actually,
look at
Rosie,
the minutes?
I would like to hear from Rosie a little bit though. Rosie, you had sent us a couple of emails about getting more word out on our committee meetings. And I was wondering if you have some thoughts on really how we can do a better job at that. Because that's real out.
Right now, the best outlets to do it would be Nextdoor and Facebook, because sometimes it's the topic that really gets the people to start talking.
Right.
So like outreach, in Nextdoor, it does have a poll. You can do a poll on Nextdoor also.
Oh, can
I
you?
don't know yes, you can do a poll on Nextdoor. So if you guys wanted to do the Parks and Rec, you could do it as a poll on Nextdoor.
Right.
The only thing about Nextdoor is like, the algorithm. You have to continue to keep, saying something to keep it up on people's, when they go to their phone or their, just say, hey, I'm just coming in to say such and such, just to keep it going, because you don't want to get lost for 3 days.
Right. Well, the other thing on Nextdoor is who would have the most perfect address in UNNC where your post goes to all corners of UNNC, if I'm saying that right. So for example, when I do something, I'm in Angeles Vista, and if I post something, it goes really well into Koreatown and not so well into Jefferson Park, even though I'm closer to Jefferson Park. But again, you call it algorithms. The algorithms of Nextdoor, it decides what neighborhoods my stuff goes to. So
well, there's a little button where you can pick your neighborhood and other neighborhoods.
Right. I have 16 neighborhoods. I was given the choice of up to 16. This is just me personally, but the 16 do not include all of Jefferson Park. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not even a choice.
I guess you would get together to see who has which ones and who doesn't
Right.
have a certain area, then they could put it on there. So maybe you're running off of 3 different people's.
Right.
Because I get pretty decent amount on mine, but I'm not a board member.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
think
yeah, but I don't think it's about board members. I don't think UNNC well, or if we do, I don't know about it. I don't think UNNC gets to override these, even though we're government. I don't think we get to override those limitations. I could be wrong.
maybe we could address that at the communications
Right.
committee meeting. They might have some insight. If
Right.
UNNC posts, where does it go? Does it go to all the UNNC footprint? And then can all neighbors,
Right.
post
I
because
think communications committee is not doing a good job on Nextdoor at this point. I think we were doing better when Jeff was doing it, but the good news is Jeff got a job, by the way.
ah
Yay.
okay, offline I will ask you. But
Okay.
so Paul, it could be a survey, maybe saying which events would you like to attend, and then maybe 4 or 5, and then we start with one.
Right. So yeah. So uh, we're out of time, but I will tell you, because weirdly
Yes.
enough, I earned my grad school work study at the Northwestern Polling Center. So I learned how to do surveys. I just don't know how to
Good.
distribute them in the modern world. So if you ask
Uh-huh.
somebody, hey, would you like to do this? They'll say, oh, yeah, that sounds fun. But it's always a better thing to say, how many times in the last 3 years have you gone to
Okay.
and
All right.
you get a better answer. Okay.
So you can determine it.
Right.
So we will have to table the approval of the minutes
Okay.
for our next meeting. And so I guess we adjourn, unless there's anything else that needs to be okay. So 7:02, we adjourn the meeting.